Hello, you beautiful people of the internet. It is Chunyun's Bizarre Adventure to Fontaine time. That's right, 4.0 is released. It is time to do the new Archon quest for 4.0, Prelude of Blancoeur and Noircoeur. I probably pronounced that incorrectly, but oui, mon ami, that's okay. That's going to happen a lot. I apologize. I'm illiterate. Soloist Prologue. What a sick name. It's time to go to Fontaine, it seems. The next phase of your journey is about to begin. All right, it's showtime, baby. Without further ado, here we go. Starting in the beautiful city of Sumeru. I'm not... Caravan Ribat? Is that what it is again? Ribat? Dude, the design here is great, too. Who are we going to encounter here?
The first time we came here.
Transporting, probably running from the government.
Oh, Paimon remembers. Nahita's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor, but we followed the clues she left behind to help her.
Yo, Paimon, thanks for the recap. Hey, yo, good memory, Paimon. I appreciate that.
So much time has already passed since then, and it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahita's in charge, right?
True. The orphanage.
Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time, and then Nahita won't have any more new problems to deal with.
There's a guy from Fontaine right there. Yes, but as long as we're around, it's hard to say what will happen.
Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen next?
True.
Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble.
Look at Traveler's face. I was just thinking that it might be... you might be the problem, Paimon. Not us bickering like siblings.
Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out.
This is sweet. And I love little Paimon Traveler moments.
Anyway, for Nahita's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
Next stop, Fontaine. All right, let's continue our journey.
Ah, look who it is. Running into a place like this.
Oh, hi, Dia.
I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious business.
That is true.
Even though it may have nothing to do with our journey.
That is also true. Half of our main story quests, like helping people like solve their local disputes. Can Dia come to Fontaine with us, please?
Never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine.
Assassin.
Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back.
Oh.
That's when
Come
I
with
saw
us,
you two all the way over
please.
there, chatting away. What were you two talking about anyway?
Bringing you to Fontaine with us? We're preparing to leave Sumeru and head to Fontaine.
Huh? You serious?
Is that guy gonna mess? Yo, what was that side eye?
Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. I guess you'd never stay for too long in one place.
Oh, we get to say goodbye to Dia. This is such a nice person to say farewell to.
Bumping into you like this will become a rarity.
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel sad just thinking about it.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, chat. Like the fact that it is kind of sad and nostalgic that we're closing the chapter on Sumeru, and we're only going to see these characters very sparingly now, like the characters like the people from Mondstadt.
Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you say?
A goodbye party?
Thanks, but no need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see everyone when we get a chance.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways. Knowing you two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle.
This is when we asked her to come with us, right?
So, when are you leaving?
We'll leave as soon as we're finished a few more preparations. Journeys should be spontaneous.
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made?
Suspicious hum?
I see. Guess you won't be needing a going away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this.
Yo, is that guy an Oceanid too?
Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
Aww. Belly button. Justice for Shinha's belly button. Anyway,
By the way,
I'm sorry.
should we go say bye to Nahida?
In her case, she'll know from our dreams anyway.
Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon. Whether as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Take care. Bye, Dia. Hug.
Goodbye, Dia.
Hug now.
Bye, Sumeru.
Dia is a good character to send us away, honestly. I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. After suddenly imagine Sumeru, you approach the border of Fontaine. Oh, okay. Fast travel, I'm down. Lore time skip. Cutscene. Oh, here it is, chat Fontaine. The entrance to Fontaine. Oh my gosh. The music. The faint French music. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous! Chat, free game, by the way. Hello? Look at this. All the waterfalls, and you hear the roar of it as well. Welcome to France. I love this so much. All right, do we just... Oh, okay, it's really just letting us free ball it from here. All right, okay. The music, the ocean. Oh my gosh, chat, look how grandiose it is. I like how we have to summon our boat for like a 1-minute journey. Wave rider. Boat to row, boat to row. Do I just park it right in the center? Oh no, parallel parking, boys. Wait, I can do this. Wait, we're parallel park. I'm going it backwards. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You guys impressed? You guys impressed? Okay. The statue. There she is. Look at her. Our first look. Oh. The world opens itself before those with noble hearts. Fontaine, boys! We unlocked it. Can we see his water moves? Can we align with the statue? Oh, that looks so cool. It looks very Maritime-esque too. Land of fair serene. Chat, we got the blue drip. We got the blue RGBs. Upgrades, people, upgrades. Okay, what happens when we E?
Water jet.
Do we have a gun? Oh, we actually have a gun. And it uses your HP? Give me your primos. Give me your primos now. Give me them now. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Wait, I was supposed to go down there. Who led me up here first? Cutscene?
After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it. Oh, this must be Fontaine's port.
Okay, chat, we gotta act like... yeah, we totally didn't just explore this.
Wow. Everything looks so advanced in
Oh,
Fontaine.
that's cool.
Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of
Look at
unusual
this.
machines.
So I heard it. It's about what I imagined. It's even more impressive than I expected.
Seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do.
Well, Paimon, we do have something to do. You remember my sibling?
What do you think?
Let's find my sister. Let's start by meeting the Hydro Archon. Oh, Traveler's just going straight to the top.
Good idea. Nahida gave us loads of useful information.
Imagine being an American tourist and being like, I want to meet the president.
Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point.
True. Our journey is to find my sibling and also to find the truth.
Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique personality.
Honestly,
Whatever that means.
I bet the Hydro Archon has Paimon's personality. I bet Paimon
To
and...
learn about a god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
Time to fraternize with the locals. Oh, hello, my friends. Do you like
me? It's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
Ooh, I like the VA there. Dude, their outfits are so cute. The maritime outfits. Look at the little hat.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family.
Oh, is this talking about a duel?
I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
Yo, someone die in a duel? Water gun.
Excuse me. Can I help you two?
Sorry.
I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Lynette!
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seem to be really busy talking about some kind of play, so we didn't want to interrupt.
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
Oh, a judge, right? Because it's a source of entertainment.
Really? Like a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives.
I love you, Twitch chat. And it's not just because I want your money, okay?
Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough.
Oh, I wonder if she just described the issue, what is the main fault of Fontaine right now. Whether something is true or not is simply not important. The only thing that matters is the story acted on the stage is splendid enough. So they've already foregone what's true. They don't care about justice. They just care about how good people look, the presentation of it.
Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
So the trials are sort of opera?
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine's way of doing things. It's just that putting someone
Pop
on
off,
trial
Paimon.
is usually a very serious thing.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette.
Nouvelle. Oh,
As
sorry.
well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal.
Delaunay's
a machine created
Cardinal.
by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice,
Sorry.
false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
I'm gonna have to keep my atrocious French accent at bay. A judgment device created by the Archon. So this is the nation of justice. Oh.
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should check it out if we get the chance. Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Get arrested.
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there.
Oh.
You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
We just get to go meet her? Do we get to meet her in this
I
one?
think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether or not she has any time slots available.
Make an appointment? Time slots? Yo, normally I just save the country and then and then I talk to them. This is easy.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
Yo, this is much easier than setting an appointment is much easier than saving a nation. Also, drops are now enabled in stream chat.
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with a nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should show some more respect.
I'll show your mom some respect. I'm sorry.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and find myself face to face with Monsieur Nouvelette.
Get arrested for talking bad about the Hydro Archon?
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Seems the people of Fontaine really like the Hydro Archon, but they don't appear to revere her. What a good observation, Traveler.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you!
Yo, Traveler
At
looking...
least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon
Looking
at
good
the
in blue.
Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Guess we could have a look around the city in the meantime.
We're the Traveler, baby. We're gonna walk in there and she's gonna be like, I know him.
Hey, what are you looking over there for?
There's a girl over there. She seems to be standing alone for quite some time.
Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she?
She's just a
maybe I better
cannonball.
Go check on her.
Lynette, we saw her earlier. Oops. The Archon quest is starting. Oh, dude, I love the roaring sound of the waterfall. Hello. Do you need assistance or maybe an execution? Oh, that was so sorry. The pew pew, I can't.
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
Is she waiting here for us?
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself.
Oh.
I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
Oh. This is pretty.
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
Maybe they're mermaids or a fantastical race from Fontaine.
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water.
Oh, that's interesting.
And though I can still see that hill clearly in my memories, now it's been completely submerged.
The flooding from the previous Hydro Archon's death, perchance?
He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea.
Yo, low-key, hanging out around the ocean is such a vibe because of that.
But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories.
Whoa, you're really giving me a lore dump here. I was just checking in to see if you're all right.
It won't be long before it swallows us.
Not if I swallow it first.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern.
It's Linny.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Ain't no way they don't know who we are.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
I love Paimon. I'm gonna say it. I always say it. But when Paimon always introduces herself, the fact she always says Paimon is Paimon, I love that so much.
We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
I wonder if he's gonna turn out evil and she's gonna be good. My guess is they'll both be good. Oh, she looks sad.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason.
There's hardly anything left for me to say with you around Paimon because you always steal my lines.
So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
You know what? Let's trade.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
Oh, this is cute.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories? And that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Global warming.
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now.
What's happening in Fontaine? Why does a water person need a tail, Chad?
Where to begin?
Does that help you swim faster? Cutscene? Cutscene?
Let's put that question on hold for a moment.
Ah,
we
no,
still
man!
haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
You punk.
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler.
Hello, Lenny. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, this is kind of...
And hello, Paimon.
Oh, this is cute. This is cute.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should
is cute.
remember it. It might prove useful.
Okay, little suspicious now, a little nefarious.
Oh, all right then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now.
Oh.
By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
Time for us to get manipulated. Here we go. By someone
So
we
you're going
just
to see
met.
Lady Farina?
I can
No
feel it in my
problem at all.
bones.
In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please follow me.
Classic us. Classic us. The old traveler 1-2. Arrive into new country, get manipulated, go to jail. Notify! Execute! Execute order 66. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, we're just gonna... Okay. We're walking the whole way there. Oh, my sword matches! My sword matches my blue outfit. I planned that. It's definitely not because I have a random sword on Traveler.
You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
Wait, is she just here? Oh, shoot! Oh! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. She's just here! The music! Vocalors!
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
The music! Oh my gosh, I love this intro.
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and
Her
those
design.
with nothing at all. Raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand.
I'm freaking out. This is awesome.
As you can all see,
Oh my gosh, her
unfamiliar
eyes.
travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and his companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
This is the suspense. There's a little bit. A warm welcome question mark?
Is she talking about us?
Nobody here seems to be holding a glass. I love that's what Traveler's thinking of. Why did she say a toast?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally.
The turmoil and chaos we've left in. Okay, and we're getting gaslit. All right, bruh. You want 1v1 me? Oh, this music is so good. She looks so cool.
Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity.
Yeah, I'm scared. What is about to happen?
Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do.
I love her.
It will
I love her
allow
so
you
much.
to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner.
I think is she trying to align us with her side immediately? In like, if there's like a class dispute going on?
I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Well, finding the Archon was easy enough.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes.
It really does.
But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it?
Shh,
A
Paimon.
little over the top?
Paimon, shh, shh, quiet. I don't want to get arrested. This is our first time we haven't been arrested yet. This is the longest time we haven't been arrested for in a new country, please.
Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably
The
lack
music is
even
so good.
some of the most basic understanding.
Oh my gosh.
Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent.
Oh my,
I
this
suppose it's
girl.
only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities.
She's immediately saying she's leagues ahead of the other mediocre gods we've encountered before. Holy, this girl.
You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
That's not true.
Whoa, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Thank you, Paimon. Feels like she can't get over herself. She heard that?
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Dude, the Archon straight off the bat. This is such a good intro.
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler?
Are they going to be
How did I not notice before?
mad at us?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see him. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
Duel?
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never
Like
disappoint.
verbal duel?
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Let's kick her ass. Let's kick her butt, brothers.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Bringing it on. Fighting gods. I've got a resume. Oh, Traveler, I love you so much. Traveler, I love you so. That is such a goated line. Fighting gods. I've got a resume. We can. Are we about to fight him? Please tell me we actually get to fight him.
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
Do people usually just cower away?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Chlorind sounds so sick.
Stand down, Clorend. I admire his bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. He is obviously a true warrior.
Dude, please tell me we get to fight her and lose or something.
Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Huh. Yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. They're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
We could kiss instead? Oh.
You see.
Sorry.
Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
Aw, shoot. Here we go again.
All right.
We're about to get arrested.
Now that'll be worth
We're
seeing.
about to get arrested.
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. Such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much
Tell her,
time
Paimon.
now.
Pop off, girl.
Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
And we haven't committed any crimes. We really just arrived here.
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it?
Is it gonna be for our sister?
According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Ain't no way. Paimon just broke the law. Yo, arrest Paimon, not me, man. She's not flying, she's floating.
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Farina.
She probably just made it up.
No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
Dude, Traveler's blue fit is so sick.
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your
Ain't
arrest.
no way!
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. But if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Linny! Finally, someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
She's a flying person.
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object. But how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
Look how angry Paimon is.
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Is he gonna make me disappear? Pyrovision activated?
Ta-da!
Do you just connect us to each other? Oh, she's tethered to the ground now. Is that what that is?
What's that on Paimon's back?
Is it a leash?
Do that!
Is it a leash? Is it like one of those baby leashes? When Linny patted you on the back. Because he knew the law that Farina was going to try to... Oh, shoot. Linny, you... He's a good man,
As you can
Savannah.
all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Paimon is officially a balloon. Balloon man.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Yo, I like that guy.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold water.
I have a feeling we're going to still hold water. I see what you did there. I have a feeling we're going to still get arrested. This is probably going to make her angrier.
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort of unexpected unexpected twist that I enjoy.
Oh, she just wants to be
With you
entertained.
here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this
Interesting.
as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The God of Justice will not bring charges against an innocent person.
God of Justice? More like God of the Theater. Hello? What's going on here?
But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands.
Were you telling me this? Am I not
I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linny and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
Hey, do you know where my sister is? Yo, I don't think she wants to help us. They have batons. Do they have batons? Oh my gosh, that music was so good. The suspense, the drama, the 3-act structure, the twist. It's like a play.
She's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. You never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Thanks for bailing us out, Linny. Did you know this was going to happen?
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would
Linny.
actually come in handy.
I hope he doesn't betray us or anything, but right now Linny is shaping up to be a real one, a real homie.
So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina is?
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Amenable to reason? Yeah, confusing is a good way to put it. Is she really that reasonable? Doesn't seem like it.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
Take us with you.
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
Yo, congrats.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
I would be delighted. This is going to be great.
Splendid.
Look how happy
In that
he is.
case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first.
Is there any way I can help? Oh my gosh, these guys are homies. I'm liking this. I'm liking this duo so far.
You really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Are we about to pickpocket people?
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that. You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails.
Cutscene? Cutscene?
I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine.
Come on, give us a cutscene.
It says that every person in
at the
Fontaine is
art.
born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned.
Dane.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy.
Is that why he has a tear?
Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What is that supposed to mean?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath.
Yo, don't tell Zhongli. That guy murders sea gods like it's nothing.
Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
But now the water's engulfing our memories. It won't be long before it goes us.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Dang.
Many people carry on
Fontaine's
with their lives as
crying, Chad.
before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than a bit of rain.
If the prophecy is true, then is there no way to prevent the disaster?
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.
I wonder if we're robbing them. Could you imagine? Like water disappearing into water. That can not only, but also has the powerful storage capabilities. All right. Hello? Hello? Take it! Take it now!
So you're the blonde traveler that everyone's been talking about. My apologies for not recognizing you earlier.
It's okay. Here's a bag.
Oh, a magic pocket? Seems you really thought of everything.
I knew we liked this guy.
I guess it's better to prepare for the worst and hope for the
Itine,
best.
we love you.
Thanks. Please, also thank the magician on my behalf.
He's a
when
good man.
You get the chance.
He's a good man, Savannah. I like that guy. Okay, what about you? Oh, this guy's got a stance.
So you also believe in the prophecy. Keep it. I won't have any use for it.
Finger gun.
What? You mean you don't believe in the prophecy?
No,
Oops.
I believe in the prophecy. But I also believe in another story. The story says that people once lived in the ocean. They were one with the ocean and couldn't live apart from it.
The plot thickens.
But as time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels, encapsulating the sea within their bodies. Thus could people set foot on land.
So like oceanids to humans, kind of?
So, if you ask me, when the water rises and takes us all, it'll be like we're going home.
Dang, that's kind of weirdly sad and cool.
Oh, we hadn't heard that one before. But people can't live underwater. They'll die. You should probably still take it.
Force it into his pocket.
All right, I'll take it. I guess I just feel that being dissolved into the water doesn't necessarily mean death.
Yo, hold up. Hold on to that one, chat. That might be right. Maybe the prophecy...
Huh? I don't want that thing. Way I see it, if the prophecy's true, it's still gonna be a long time before the water can cover everything. Life is all about living in the moment. What use is there in worrying about the future all the time? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
You should still take it. You never know when it'll come in handy.
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that if I start moving, that means I've already given
Aw.
up on the life I have now. I'd really rather not.
Dude, I loved that scene with the Archon so much. That was so good. Talk to Linny. Oh.
Oh, you already handed out all of the magic pockets?
Yes, sir.
That was fast. So, what did people have to say? I bet you heard some interesting opinions.
Many are quite stubborn.
Yes, but that will change once disaster strikes. I know they'll change their minds, so it's only right to help them prepare.
No.
Is there anything else you need to do before we leave?
Yes, one last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the court of Fontaine. Since we're out and about,
Court of
I was
Fontaine?
thinking
Is that
about
the
bringing
city?
in some more materials.
So, you want to collect materials? Just tell us what the materials look like and we'll help.
Wait, are we about to go
Many
underwater?
hands make light work.
Oh.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. We'll need some romaritime flowers. I remember seeing them near the waterfront on the east side of the harbor.
Watch this be like a Fatui trap or something. Give me your money! Flower, I choose you! I love this so much.
You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. I've also finished collecting a few here. Maybe next time you'll feel like helping too, Lynette.
Lynette wasn't helping?
No way. I'm in power saving mode today. Otherwise, I fear I may not have any energy left for the performance at the Opera House.
Power saving mode.
Fine. Though the performance is still a long way off. Now that we're finished here, we should get ready to head back to the Court of Fontaine.
Is that the city?
So, we're going to the Court of Fontaine before we head to the Opera House? Good. Paimon wants a tour of Fontaine's largest city and try...
The food? Did you just walk off without letting her finish?
Wait, shh. Have you
Oh
noticed
my
that
gosh, I
person
was like,
over
that's
there?
rude.
The young girl.
Huh? What's wrong with her? Paimon didn't notice anything.
She's obviously a thief. Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We divert attention, and a distracted audience is one that won't discover what you're really doing. Watch her movements carefully.
She's stealing the magic bag. Yo, get the robot police. The Iron Giant. Sick him.
Keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps we should split up. You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll be her escape route if she tries to run.
I think we're getting scammed.
All right, let's go.
I think they facilitated the pickpocket, and we're about to get framed for it. Oh, look. Wait, this dog's name is Baguette. When will my reflection... Okay. Time for us to get arrested.
This is the spot where Linny wanted us to wait.
Where he'd frame us. Oh, there she is.
Oh, look! Isn't that her?
I'm sorry, I have trust issues apparently. Get ready to stop her. Time to make the arrest.
Oh no! Did she notice us? She started running the other direction. What should we do? Should we chase her?
Yes. Our job is to block his path. The rest is up to Linny.
You're right. She might also be trying to lure us away.
You wait, but there's no sign of the thief.
Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Linny caught the thief.
Seems there's no reason for us to stay here. Let's go find Linny.
Yeah, let's go.
Do you just go back down? Oh, what's up, guys? What's up, gamers?
Are you sure that's all she took? You should check to make sure you're not missing anything else.
No, that was all. Oh, I can't thank you enough. I didn't notice a thing earlier. Anyway, I should be going now. Thanks again.
Did they catch her?
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her. She distracted me by dropping the thing she stole on the ground. By the time I looked back, she was already gone.
What's happening right now? Why is this important? That's my
I
question.
saw the general direction she went, but Linny twisted his ankle, and I needed to make sure he was okay.
Oh, did you get hurt, Linny?
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle, that's all. In fact, it's feeling better
Yo,
already.
we giga getting scammed right
If you
now.
want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it. Imagine what would happen if you managed to derail our performance as a result.
I think they robbed them.
You're right,
Look
you're
how pretty
right.
this is.
Sorry, Lynette. I have to admit that the thief was even more skilled than I had anticipated. But at least we were able to get the stolen items back, so it wasn't a complete failure.
What a slippery little thief. Guess things turned out all right in the end, though. Lily's initiative paid off.
All right, let's put this little detour behind us. We should go to the court of Fontaine now.
City time? Ride the aqua bus to the court of Fontaine. Let me switch it to just kidding. Oh shoot, chat. Did she just do a flip? Yo, that was wicked.
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around. People in Fontaine really know how to use water.
This is an aqua bus. It allows people to travel between several key locations around
Nice
Fontaine.
looking machine. Looks like a yacht.
It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after a while. The scenery is always the same. That's why it's better to travel with friends.
Oh.
So you mean it's still boring even when I'm riding with you?
No, that's not what I meant. It's just that, well, you don't really talk that much. Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip when it's just the two of us. It's the same as being at home.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Guess that's what it's like to be an older brother.
Yeah.
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on board.
On the magic school bus, the magic aqua bus. Oh, Charlotte! Charlotte! Charlotte? Charlotte?
Huh?
It's our friend!
What?
Yeah! We love you, Charlotte!
Traveler! Paimon! Charlotte!
Oh, it's Charlotte.
Oh, I never guessed I'd bump into you while riding the aqua bus. In the story of my life, this is big news.
I love Charlotte so much.
What are you doing in Fontaine? I didn't hear anything about you paying us a visit.
Yeah, it's quite the coincidence.
Look at the scenery!
As travelers, we're always on the move. It's not surprising that nobody knew we were coming.
Wait, if we just wait at this screen... Hold up. Will it just go all the way to Fontaine?
Though we still have no idea
Oh,
how
it
the
auto
Hydro
does it.
Icon knew about us. Oh, let Paimon introduce you to our new friends.
Oh, no need for introductions, Paimon. I would recognize the great magician Linny and his assistant Lynette anywhere.
Oh.
I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who they were. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Low key, I trust Charlotte way more than I trust Lenny and Lynette. 100%.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performances.
This is our actual homie.
It's an honor to meet you.
Now that everyone knows each other, Fontaine suddenly doesn't feel like such an unfamiliar place. So, what have you been up to lately, Charlotte? Any big news?
Not too much.
This is
when
wholesome.
there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle, even if it's the same old topics. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days.
That would definitely get my attention.
You're right. Seems you know me pretty well. What I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that could shake the country. These smaller stories are a waste of my talents.
How about my news
I
story?
just remembered. I've been following a case lately. Well, a series of cases, actually.
You mean the serial disappearances of young women case?
That's right. These stories are the talk of the town right now, and it's probably the most mysterious case we've ever seen.
Is there a serial killer on the loose?
I'm the first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked. And it's the headline story in the Steambird.
Oh, the music, chat. Also, the background scenery. You can see, like, the pyramids and, like, the Jade Chamber.
Oh,
Or not the Jade Chamber, but you know what I mean.
All the other reporters will shed tears of envy. I've already gathered all kinds of materials. I just can't wait for the truth to be revealed.
So, what is the serial disappearances of young women case? You mean the culprit hasn't been found?
That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago. And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. What the cases have in common is that the girls are all of a similar age.
Dang,
and that
this
they
is
all vanished
terrifying.
without a trace.
What the heck? This just got very serious. Oh, there's the J Chamber.
But the scariest part is that to this day, none of the girls have ever been found.
Charlotte, I get that this is a good story, but you need to sound a little less excited when you're talking about this.
Many suspects have been arrested over the years
have some
in connection
tact.
with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen.
Then there must be more than one criminal at work. Maybe there are copycat criminals?
Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe that every case has some precise truth behind it, waiting to be exposed.
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of those missing girls deserves some sort of explanation.
Or finding the girls, too? Saving the girls?
I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were
Look
to
at all
suddenly
this.
disappear.
Look at the tunnel.
I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the culprit.
Please
Aw.
don't imagine that, Lenny.
Aww. Well, that was really cute. That was very cute. Alright, guys, let's play Twister. Do we get Aquabus food, like peanuts? The music.
Hey, we're almost there! Look!
The music was getting... There it is, Chap Fontaine! Oh, it looks fancy! Oui, oui, mon ami! It's gorgeous, the music. Oh, this is sick. I love it. I love it so much. Magnificent! Magnificent! Oh, look at the hedges. Oh, the music. Oh my lordy. Yeah, we didn't get arrested.
Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Don't leave
Life
us,
should be
Charlotte,
full of pleasant
please.
little
I'm
surprises
scared.
Like this.
Yeah, us as well. The ride went by too quickly.
I have an interview to get to. I should get going before I'm late.
Okay, Hyman hopes we can chat again soon, Charlotte. See ya!
Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see me at the Steambird when you have time.
We will. Bye, Charlotte.
What a tough
I
job.
love you.
Always running around and interviewing everyone. Well, where should we go now?
To the Hydro Archon's house.
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first?
Are we gonna-
Besides, I still have all the materials we collected.
Are we going to meet Freminet? Freminette?
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all. This city is so huge, Paimon wouldn't know where to start anyway.
We're going home, chat. Here it is. What is that? Hydro Dice Cube of Hell. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's gorgeous, elegant, beautiful, mystical, whimsical, full of love and fury. The Court of Fontaine! Chat! Look at this! Wait, do we still have our gun? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, chat. It's magnificent! Look how beautiful it is. The buildings, the music. Oh my gosh. The child ran away.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Look at how opulent it's huge. Oh, Freminette.
This is our current abode. Ah, Freminet. You're home.
My bad.
Where did everyone else go?
I'm sorry, guys.
I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Frimine? It's Frimine. Frimine.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon.
Father?
I suppose that can't be helped. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Frimine!
And this is the
I
Traveler.
love his voice.
Oh, you sound very proud to have a diver as a brother, Linny.
Linny sure seems to have... Wait, Linny sure seems to have a big family.
Linny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me?
It's all right. You go ahead. Fremine's pretty cool. Oh, look at his little thing.
Okay, I see.
Who's their father?
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption.
More suscities?
Before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Fremine?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
Man, this guy seems... I like this guy.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
Dude, I love Fremine's voice. Oh, the rain. Are they going to be surprised? Is it not?
Looks like rain.
Oh, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood reference. Sorry.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
Dude, what if it was Child's Trial?
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
Oh, this is sick. Could the Hydro Dragon be the elemental dragon of Fontaine? Another one of the elemental dragons of Tevat.
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very unusual.
True. I like Fremine a lot. Oh, the music.
Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
Shut up, Lenny! No, I'm joking.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
True, Lynette. I'm loving their dynamic so far, the family.
Sorry. It might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers.
Dude, the music. After some time, the rain stops.
It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
Did we just stand out here outside the whole time?
Was there something you needed to do, Linny?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aqua bus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island
Where are we
of
staying?
Berenice. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
Sounds good. You go ahead, Lenny. See you at the performance. Wait, are we actually going to see it?
Are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pockets, is that it? Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there? I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted, and the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
This guy is... The more this guy kind of grabs control of situations, it makes me feel like he's bad.
No trouble at all. Don't worry, we're on the case.
Or not bad, or
Sorry
just
for
like
the
deceiving us.
inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks. I'll think of a way to make it up to you.
Oh, no need. This will be a walk in the park for us.
Dude, I like Fermine a lot, chat. Magic pocket.
Thanks again, you two. I really can't deal with that lady.
Oh. Nighttime. You know this? A little coffee shop. A little coffee. A little cappuccino. Oh. A little croissant. Oh. I'm sorry. We gotta pull out Venti, man. Where's Venti? French Venti. Wait, should I go get that, Oh, no, it's way up there.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
Watch it be like Catherine.
Oh, hello there. New
It's
customers?
Stella.
Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Oh, look at the little... There's a molten rock getting hit back there.
We're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are. They're for making... what were they called again?
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets. I could tell right away. I've already made several orders worth now.
Do we need to pay?
No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount.
Oh.
But they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to
Oh.
run. It seems both their hearts and their pockets are made of gold.
Whoa. So, is Linny actually loaded?
I can't say for sure, but
There's gotta be
who
good money in
knows?
those shows.
Maybe there's good money to be made being a magician in Fontaine.
Maybe.
Hey, is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
That is pretty cool.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology. And wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Great question. Electricity?
Well, it's a little complicated. I'm not sure I can put it
Hydrotricity?
in layman's terms for you.
Hydropower?
But basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
What?
Huh? How can trials produce energy?
Yo, that doesn't sound healthy, brother.
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself, but basically, when a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all around Fontaine.
Yo, she just dropped the full correct pronunciation.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgments, but Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for these machines?
Well, Leventi and Nahida both said the gods rely on belief to obtain power. So is it the gods' power redistributed?
The Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine, right?
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense.
We have some experience with Archons,
Besides
my lady.
indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature. Even now, it still cannot be widely used by civilians.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're already talking, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few words with me.
Confriere of Cabriere Enforcer? Is this a game?
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month? Why are you hounding me now?
Time to mess him up.
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh? You...
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials. Maybe
We're just
now's
gonna
a good time
dip?
to leave?
You're right. Sounds like a usual case of someone owing somebody else money.
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to...
No,
collect payments,
Sean!
Why don't you settle your own debts first?
With the Fatui? Hello? How did I... Straight off the get-go, we're firing at all cylinders, boys. Is he gonna... Oh, this... Because his earlier quest chat, he was settling debts like the whole time, remember?
If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. but I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation?
Oh my gosh, Child's here. He's right here.
You're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding me now?
He's being a little bit of a hypocrite. I like how Paimon waves the
Traveler,
trial.
Paimon!
Child.
I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
These guys are... Wait, are we still kind of enemies a little bit?
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in
Hey,
Fontaine?
girly.
You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
We sure seem to have a lot of friends in Fontaine. Are we really friends, though?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now. And honestly, things have been pretty boring.
Please don't fight me.
But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble.
Okay. Little rude. Second off, good friends?
Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting.
True.
Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
I think we've already weathered enough storms for now. I don't mind a little excitement every now and then.
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
Is Child about to beat these guys?
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
You tell him, Child.
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your friends? Listen to me, boy. If you want your mora, fine. Why don't you come and take it?
Wait, is Child about to get arrested for brawling?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said,
Hey, that's way over the line. All right, boys, let's see who has to pay up now.
Give me a cutscene of Child wiping the floor with their booties.
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients, you're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
Okay, sure. Go ahead, they're all yours.
I'm unsure this won't take long.
Please give us a cutscene. Or do I just get to be... Oh, you just get to be Child? Oh, this is great! Yo, what's up, boys? What's up, boys? Sorry, I'm using the wrong weapons.
You can run, but you can't hide.
I haven't used Child in so long. And then Chanyun! Oh, I love that.
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank? Wait, don't tell me you're...
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it?
Child's about to be arrested.
Huh?
Now's my chance!
Smack him.
Huh. That was weird.
His hydrovision? What just happened? Are you feeling alright?
I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
Was it because he was being, like, unjust or broke the law?
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
You've kind of heard a little bit.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides,
This guy.
I always have my delusion in case I need it.
I have a vision, so don't ask me. You better not use your delusion too often.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, Child? I don't see its work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about anything?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself, but recently...
Child is kind of a child.
There seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me. And I don't know why, but every now and then I feel like I'm in a terrible mood.
Maybe you losing control of your vision just now is connected with that power you're feeling inside.
That is a possibility.
Do you have any idea where it came from?
I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk.
Whoa, this is sick!
She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through.
Skirk.
And she was always very strict when teaching me combat techniques. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, it was because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
But what is it? What did you awaken?
She never explained that.
Like abyssal
but
power?
My guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss.
Tell us the dream.
In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
Was it Ziox? No, I'm joking. Get it because they spin money. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers.
Yeah, remember we last fought to the death?
It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
Dude, this is such a pleasant surprise. I love these kind of conversations. You know what I mean, chat?
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to Paimon.
The power inside you is connected to your incident in the abyss.
So why don't you just go ask your master? Maybe she knows the answer.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss.
Who's Skirk?
But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember falling into the abyss.
Oh, it sounds like some kind of ghost story.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world tend to be elusive like that. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered I have somewhere else I need to be.
Do you know where my sister is?
Going.
What are the Harbingers doing? What's your guys' plan?
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
Yep. In Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official
Game of Thrones.
duelist.
It's like trial by combat.
The champion duelists are all powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no specified stopping point. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor.
Dang.
If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted.
Oh, this music is
lovely. But if they lose, they'll have no choice but to stand trial. And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble with your life?
For fun? You do that all the time, child.
Do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win.
Oh, does he know who has?
Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor of its citizen. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as soon as I got to Fontaine. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorinde, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
Well, that's
Ooh, duel time.
Paimon feels like we heard that name somewhere before.
When we met the Hydro Archon, I'm terrible at remembering names.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Was it from his brother?
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now.
You can do that? You could just toss your vision to somebody?
Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
That is so cute.
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
Dude, I love that Child's in this story like this.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed the same as ever to Paimon. Well, since we don't have much to do for now, we might as well walk around and see the city before Lenny's performance.
Or do we get, please tell me we get to go to the, you walk around the city of Fontaine, please tell me we get to go to the performance. Please.
Wow, who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along.
Hey, don't blurt it out, Paimon. It's true to spoil the mystery for everyone else.
Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. Paimon never saw that.
Oh, murder mysteries! Sherlock Holmes!
Here are amazing.
It's Sherlock Holmes! Never thought I'd see the day when Paimon would enjoy reading. Oh my lordy.
The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House.
Is that the pipe?
Both have
Oh!
merits, but Paimon thinks this style of novels are more, well, novel. It's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered, especially in the one Paimon was just reading. You should buy a copy and read it too.
I'm good, you already spoiled who the murderer is.
Sorry about that. Paimon will be more
Leakers, man.
Hey.
Oh, the
Shouldn't we
music.
be heading to the opera house to see Lenny's performance?
Oh, the music.
It's almost time for the show to start, so we should get going.
Wait, so we fully get the show?
Lenny said that the opera house is on Aranea.
Oh.
So let's go ride the
Child probably went to go talk to Arlecchino. Is that how you say her name, Arlecchino? Oh my gosh, the music. Oh, I feel like grabbing a murder mystery novel and a glass of wine, and then pointing out my finger and blah, 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 blah. Do I go this way? Tower, look at this. Look how grandiose it is. Oh my lordy. Is there a, someone got a mother flipping map, my guy? Why don't I follow the yellow sparkly line, chat? How about we start there? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, hi, ma'am. Hi, my name's The Traveler. I'm free on Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursday nights. Chat, this is gorgeous. This is better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not even joking. I need to go up? Is this like the train station? Oh, the music. Oh my gosh, this is magical, chat. Actually magical. Wait for the aquabus. After a while. On we go, boys. Time to go see a performance. Oh. Can I tell you to make it go? How do you do? When does the immediately? Oh. Thanks.
Welcome to the Navia line. I am Elfan. The boat will be departing imminently. Please do not stick your head,
It's already departed.
hands, or other body parts outside the boat.
Just
the
turn your-
aquabus operator is not responsible for any accidents or injuries resulting from doing so.
Just like Disneyland.
Also, please remember to buy the Steambird, though I don't read it myself.
She's not a very good salesman.
The destination of the current tour is Aranea. Points of interest worth visiting include the Fountain of Lucine and the Opera Epiclese.
Yo, thanks. I look so awkward.
If you look to the left in the direction we are currently traveling,
Left?
you will see the famous Fontaine Research Institute up in the sky.
Up in where?
An experiment gone wrong turned a new sightseeing opportunity.
Oh.
Human ingenuity truly is a wondrous thing.
Look at the little birds. They were dancing. This is, oh my. This is such a lovely way to tour Fontaine. to be introduced to a new region. This feels like a Disney movie. Look at the mountains, man. Yo, can this go any faster, bro? What happens if I attack you?
We are now approaching our final destination. Please be sure to bring all your
feels
personal
like a-
belongings with you as you disembark.
She feels like an off-brand Chi-Chi.
Even though I will take any forgotten items to the lost and found, the paperwork is rather annoying, as Melusine hands are not suitable for grasping pens. Please be careful when disembarking. It has been my honor to be your tour guide this trip. Thank you.
This is like with the Jungle Cruise. Thank you. How do I just... Welcome to Fontaine. Yo, thanks. Thanks, achievements. Oh my gosh, this is like we're in Europe. Am I going the right way? Is this the path to the... Listen to the music. Look at the swans. The beautiful animals. Oh, so romantic. I like how we haven't encountered any enemies yet. Chat, I'm loving this Archon quest so far. The pacing is so good. And the little bits they gave us of the Archon intro showing up. And then the child bits as well. Oh, man. Look at walk, man. Go. Go, Chunyun. Look at how grand everything is in this continent, chat. From the city to this, it's more grand than Sumeru City. And this is, oh my gosh. These tremendous structures. And no ruins either.
Fancy! The opera
Except the science place.
What a place to hold a performance! No wonder Linny and Lynette were looking forward to it.
Big cutscene time, maybe?
Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
Oh.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
Oh. You two are cute. Kiss. Kiss now.
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Oh. Is she pregnant?
Maybe
She doesn't
this is
seem
one
like
of the
it.
customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
I've never seen a pregnant person in Genshin now that I think about it. The children come from the ground. Huh?
What's wrong?
Vache. Uh-oh. The Gigalore filter. You know shit's going down. I mean, you know stuff's going down. When the screen starts glitching, that's always preceded by big lore moment.
No, Paimon didn't say anything.
Whose voice was
Are you
that
hearing
just now?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing
It sounds like an
Fontaine
oceanid.
converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children.
Oh.
Lynette, you scared Paimon. When did you get here?
Lenny asked me to wait here for you.
Oh.
Remember?
No? Kind of?
Right.
By the way, Lynette, I seem to hear a faint voice just
What
now.
do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
It seems as if the voice was coming from the fountain.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you?
What's Lynette gonna say?
It's the middle of the day. It's not the time for eerie things.
Look how cute Paimon is.
I see.
Let her show.
I might be able to tell you something that could help explain the voice you heard.
Oh? Let the record show the middle of the day is the best time for eerie themes. So you don't feel scary looking down your hallway at night. You know what I mean?
In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element. Others in my family have had similar experiences.
It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have
Is
to
it
do
the
with elemental
oceanids?
power?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
Such a strange question to ask.
Just answer me. When do you cry?
When I'm sad. You produce water when you're sad?
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared.
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions.
Oh, shoot.
Like I
This
just
is kind of a
mentioned,
cool
The
tie-in
fountain
with
of
water.
the scene is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. Even the tears that fall to the ground will eventually gather here.
Oh, this is
so
cool.
maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
That's an interesting explanation. I'm not sure whether I buy it, though.
So, what did the voice say?
Seem to be calling out someone's name.
If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened to them.
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother first.
Yeah, aren't you guys freaking... Shouldn't you be... If I was her, I'd be nervous right now.
Don't
I'd
let
be
that
having
calm
my
look of his fool you.
pre-performance poop.
He tends to get pretty nervous
Anxiety
just
poop.
before a performance. So chatting with Linny might help him relax a little before
Never
he
goes
goes
wrong.
on stage.
Whenever before a soccer game or a play, when I would perform, you have the pre-anxiety poop. I'm sorry. Anyway, TMI.
Let's go in and see Linny.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Juliet and Ermia. Oh wait, can I get some Mora here though? Yo, I hope that wasn't somebody's wish. What is this music? What is that melody? I feel just like such a fancy man. Thief! You have violated the law. It's showtime, chat. Literally. It's literally showtime. Big juicy lore time. Cutscene?
Ah, Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you.
I'm sorry.
I knew you two would come.
I had high expectations, and right now my expectations have been blown out of the water this entire time, chat. I have to say it. Like, the structures, the atmosphere, and the music. My expectations were high, and they're being
Are you kidding?
good
We
soup.
want to miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take
we're
you
gonna
to
see
the
the
best seats in the
performance.
house. Wait just a moment. I'll fetch the tickets.
Are we about to be bamboozled? I'm scared. Best seats in the house.
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats.
Yo,
And
poggers.
here are your tickets.
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Linny.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Linny, could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an
Dude, if I was
issue
Linny
with the
right now, I'd
stage
be so
props over
nervous.
there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll
Let's
go
get
lend him
busy.
a hand.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Linny.
Is Arlecchino gonna be like behind us? I'm so excited, chat. I'm so excited. Look at this. Look at it. Magnificent. Magnificent. Do I go down here? Oh my gosh, the music. The courthouse. Oh my gosh. Chat, as a little bit of a theater nerd, are we sitting next to the judge? Is that new roulette? Chat, how's my hair? How's my hair? Hello. Hey. I noticed you have lovely blue eyes like the ocean, sir. My name's Jonathan. Okay.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down.
Oh, shoot, chat. Into the thick of it. Dot, dot, dot. Oh, you look so cool. Say hi. Traveler's look. This is such a relatable moment. When you're like, it's just you and you're deciding whether you're going to converse with the person next to you.
Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kind of awkward if we don't say anything.
You're up, Paimon. Isn't that usually your job?
Of course you put this on Paimon.
What was she about to call us?
Excuse me. I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry.
Oh my gosh, his voice is amazing. And he looks great.
I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, and his demeanor too. He sounds similar to Zhongli, but
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down.
wait, that delivery was so funny. Oh man, this has been very funny too, very humorous. The Archon quest so far.
Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So let's talk. But what should we talk about?
Not them cutting out the music for this scene. This is getting even more awkward. Look at him.
Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, I love him. I love him. I'm in love with. I love him. Is what I was trying to say. Oh, he's so cool. Look at him, Chad.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction.
I love this so much.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Oh my gosh. He looks so good.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you
It's
still don't know
still
who Monsieur
so
Nervillet
quiet.
is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Dude, I love his personality so much already.
Ooh, sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really.
Okay, I feel like we should be the most sus of him, considering the Archon's behavior earlier. But so far, he seems the kindest and most honest person.
And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now.
And she wants to be noticed.
I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
I love this so much. I'm eating this up.
So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
She wants attention.
Huh? Oh,
Wave at her,
it's
guys.
Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Oh, dude. I love the... Oh, I'll talk about this later, but I'm so invested in all of these characters now. And the little social dynamics, all of them getting fleshed out like this. Their voice acting, it's just so good. Such a great introduction so far to Fontaine.
So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
I'm so drawn in. I would say almost more so than Inazuma's first Archon quest. close, similar to Liyue's probably. I'm trying to remember and more so than Sumeru's first and Inazuma's. Maybe the most so far.
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show is finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
Or there are going to be no other guests, and it's just going to be us. Crowd enters. Can we hold hands? I'm sorry. Oh, here we go!
They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny.
The music.
And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
What's about to happen?
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, 2 vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today.
Don't worry. I won't look at Clara. I'm not looking at chat. It's okay. I mean, you can keep purging, but don't worry. I got you.
Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show.
What's with the
that
guy's
way,
mask?
even the gods won't be able to help us.
Interesting line.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll
Dude,
be
I'm so
coming right
excited.
back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
Are they going? Okay, nice. Ooh.
Huh?
This is cool.
But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before.
He looks so good.
So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky.
A bird? Houdini! It's
Using
Houdini
this water
time!
tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes.
Can't they breathe underwater though, so it's okay? I remember this from the trailer.
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully.
This is part of the show, isn't it?
With
Yeah,
the
it
lid
is.
on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now.
I'm onto him.
Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
Is she naked?
Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Bravo. Bravo. It was a screen. It's such a nice long cutscene. Oh, I'm digging this. That's all? Oh, okay.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't seem to do anything. Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
What a show. No wonder he's a famous magician.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking.
Dude, he looks like genuine from Honkai Star Rail.
To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
That's fair. That's honestly fair.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
It's like if you're playing a horror game. It's funner if you let yourself get scared.
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance.
Act 2?
But our magical journey has only just begun.
Another cutscene?
I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen.
The cat was getting a little rambunctious there.
I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations.
Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Don't call me on the stage.
So, for my next trick, I will require the participation
It's gonna be
of
us or the
one
Archon.
lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap. Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box.
Couldn't you just climb under the ground?
Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! How's he gonna do this?
Shh, Paimon.
Hey, do you think this is all magic?
Paimon,
tricks,
shh,
or does
he's
Lenny
so
have actual superpowers?
Let's watch it see.
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute.
Is that the thief?
Please, come forward. My assistant will take you
Wait a minute.
beside the magic box.
Is that the thief in a different outfit?
I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible.
I
You
forget
don't
what
need
the
to
thief
do
looks
anything,
like.
but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box.
What?
If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yo,
Before I enter
yo,
the magic
the
box,
assistants look
there
like
is one more
bad
thing
guys.
I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like.
These guys do not look like they're up to any good.
I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
Paimon sounds so loud. I'm sure Linnea's prepared. With the whole crowd counting together, you couldn't even if you wanted to.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
60, 59,
58.
That's right, perfect. Keep
Music?
it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is.
I love everything. I love these guys so far.
Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
I love that Paimon and Nuvalet are going back and forth too.
Oh, alright. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something. 40,
The music.
39, 38!
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine, I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at
I
all.
think it's all part of the show.
What was that noise? Did you hear it too?
Did it come from the stage? Maybe it was just to divert attention?
Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
25, 24, 23! What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20
What is
seconds.
happening?
Hear them counting.
What is happening? The suspense. Dude, the music too, the music change feeds into this whole theme so well. The little piano riff.
18, 17!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10!
Almost there.
Showtime?
Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey,
Oh,
wait.
that's cute.
Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? Nope, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly.
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Magic.
Ta-da!
Is the other person gone?
What happened?
Did she just die? Did she just die? I'm guessing sabotage by like Fatui, maybe. That's the mask floating in the water.
Is this part of the show? Mr. Linney, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
Dang. Oh, I like her tone there.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
There's some time. The guards complete the investigation. Is she dead?
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe.
Wait, it wasn't the girl?
Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowl in the box, rather than the guest from the audience.
Dude, the music. This music is such perfect for setting the scene.
And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
And to pull it off like this in front of an audience, including the Archon Chief Justice.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale.
The music.
Did he really underestimate us that badly?
She doesn't... Oh, the music, the voices. There's no way she thinks it's Linny. Is Farina that dumb?
I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not?
I wonder... Oh, man, this is so good. The music, chat.
Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
That can't be right. How can Linny do this?
He wouldn't do it in front of everybody.
On the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
It's hard to believe all this happened during the show.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linny and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
Huh? I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
They're buying into the story. I wonder if that'll cause her to be like, yeah, we should do it, actually, because it tells a good story.
I mean...
Oh, so vain.
Dear people.
Oh.
What excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing.
So...
That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
I trust Linny.
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and
Dude,
I
the
already
music.
had a duel the first time we met. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser.
Is this going to be a court
What
case?
better place to hold such a riveting showdown
Yeah, it is.
and
Not
decide
an actual
true
duel.
victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linny's attorney and defend him in this case?
No, I'm not. I don't have my legal license. I didn't pass the bar. Can I hire Yan Fei as a consultant?
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linny and his troop are all
Better call
potential
Saul.
suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Oh, I love how flawed Farina is. And, like, you see... Oh, my gosh. Everyone's dismissed. The audience begins to leave along with Farina and Nouvellette.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
We just watched someone die. That's a little spooky.
Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
True. A little traumatizing.
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
No.
Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me.
That'd be so stupid.
I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not.
Where's the
and
girl?
I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
We better see... Oh, we better get Yanfei in here. She's the only lawyer. Please tell me we get Yanfei in here. Yeah, I'm guessing it was Fatui influence. That's because the mask is really, like, is good imagery for the Fatui. But there's no denying it happened.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Sherlock Holmes! Where'd you get those glasses? Oh my gosh, this is so great.
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
Don't worry. Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
I love this.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove
Get
our
from
own
Lynette.
innocence.
From Lynette in here.
Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
Better call Yanfei. I won't let you down. I'm used to this sort of thing.
Just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
Bro, you about to die. In court, man. Trade secrets. Tell me.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial.
Sherlock Paimon.
'Tis truly a pity.
Does that mean we're Holmes?
As a magician, our
I mean,
magic
we're
shows
Watson?
a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
All right, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case.
Cute.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
There's like a corpse there. Wow.
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Dude, the music, they do so good with the musical changes for the beats of the story. Their music game has been on point. Even, dare I say, Sumeru's music game was like 10 out of 10. Even better, in my opinion.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it.
But why was Cal inside? Wasn't the girl supposed to be
This
in
is
there?
the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident.
Yeah.
If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends.
And why would he do it knowing he'd get
Known
caught?
each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand.
I mean, this guy's really playing his role really good.
I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
But that's not always true. People can also be the most reliable kind of evidence.
I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good.
Thanks, man.
Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
You can use case record to confirm that your current evidence include collection, situation, course, sort, case-related information. You can check as yet undiscovered evidence and clues in the case record, then investigate the corresponding area to locate them. Use the perception skill to find evidence and clues that can be investigated within a certain radius around yourself. This will allow you to overall progress. Investigation from the guardians indicate that the fireworks launched at the tail end of the magic performance set the rope dangling. Cal, who was within it, seems evident Lenny is the likeliest user. Okay. The deceased identity. Trusted by all his colleagues, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. Dang, this is cool! A detective in action. Press E to use the perception skill. Oh. The broken magic box was left on the scene after the guard completed their investigation. Looking at it now, the water tank must have struck it really hard. Yeah. Examine the white line. This is where the magic box was struck. If Cal weren't inside that box at the moment, he might have dodged the falling water tank. The burnt rope. It probably wasn't by the pyrotechnics.
The rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
So either Linné didn't realize this was a safety concern, or...
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
I'm just looking at where the rope snapped.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different materials.
Saboteur!
Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
It seems to be flammable, like a type of flash cotton.
Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait! Why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
Dude, this is kind of cool. The little investigation time. Hello, sir. Maurice. Talk to me, Maurice.
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troupe members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence.
Dude, I love how the policia work.
The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Could you tell us who she is?
Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspect. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all. which matches the features of the previous serial disappearance.
Paimon, take those off. Be respectful of the dead, please.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Thanks for letting us know all this.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
They don't seem like bad actors, bad faith. Can we investigate stuff off the stage? Quentin.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah,
we're helping Lenny and Lynette with their
obviously
side
it
of the
chose the
investigation.
person.
What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Please tell me we get this as a permanent skin for Paimon. I want to go through the rest of my journeys with Sherlock Paimon.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time.
Jack, could you imagine if you could personalize your own
I'm sure you
Paimon?
already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Lenny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
Add like a construction hat, maybe a suit of armor.
That much checks out. Lenny reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lenny.
Thanks, sorry to bother you.
Even though it's bad for Lenny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Evidence has been collected. Oh, do we go check in our area now? What? Over here? Examine the magic box. It looks an ordinary box, but Lenny somehow moved instantly from the stage to be inside it. How did he do it? He will tell us. Quest area reached. Hello, ma'am. Sir. Monsieur? Is what I meant to
see
say.
that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too.
Oh, hopefully.
If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, all right?
Is he their lawyer?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
True.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
The thud!
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope.
No, the rope
sending
burned.
the water tank crashing down.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
Then wouldn't the water tank have started to swing a bit in that case?
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
It was the sound of King's heartbeat from One Punch Man. The roaring engine. Shout out to the 3 people in chat who got that reference. Hello?
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Wait, I'm supposed to go out? Oh,
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for
it's
a while
Mary
now.
Poppins, y'all! The music switch. Oh my gosh, the music switch.
Huh? You mean us?
Paimon? Oh my gosh, the music switch. They've been so on point with these. It amplifies every moment.
That's right. If I'm not mistaken,
Look
you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Chat, it's Taylor Swift.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
No.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Oh, look at her. She looks so great. Also, I like her character a lot.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
Oh my gosh, look at her. She looks immaculate.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs
Oh.
are under my purview.
Okay.
Huh?
Lumiere.
Boss. Demoiselle? What gives with the name?
Dude, the music.
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
Yo, I'm confused too, Paimon.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
So you want to investigate as well?
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the
Wow,
look
look
of
at her
things,
outfit. It
I find
looks
Linny
so
an
good.
unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Okay.
Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away.
Everyone in Fontaine is so swanky. I agree.
Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Wait, her hair looks exactly like Bronya's.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
You and me both, sister.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with
Oh
her.
my gosh, her outfit looks so phenomenal, chat. Well, when you put it like that.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Look at her eyes, too.
Wait a minute. Did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
No,
Well?
not always.
And why would that be?
Doing so makes it easy for the truth to fall by the wayside.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
We're the good guys.
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. I, too, think
I love
that
this
the
man.
traveler's response was most excellent.
I love you. I love you, Melis.
No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact.
True. She's Geo. I'm pretty sure that's been confirmed, Cheeky.
And if that can be done, boss, then
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed
Dude,
with
and
flying
her
colors.
little nautical wheels?
Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait, we're lawyers and assistants now?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
I like Navia. I like Navia a lot. And she looks better, chat, than I actually thought she would in-game.
That's more like it.
I think you're missing the point, Paimon. Seems you already agreed then.
far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth.
Sold, Melis.
You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Linny's tricks.
Dude, the music shift is so phenomenal. It's so good.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
Poisson.
Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I could make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle. That falls under my duties.
Oh, right.
I actually like her a lot, chat. What do you guys think of her? All right. Or you, YouTube. What do you guys think of her?
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Her personality seems to be way more fun than I expected her to be. I agree.
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection.
So, fur and hair?
So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
What about during the show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck, but still, I did not abandon my post. And I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
I do not know.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Interested in exits of the Opera House. Is that all?
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue.
I'm sorry.
Linny's discussion with the guards is going.
Chat, this is so cool.
Understood.
We're in Fontaine.
Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
Okay, Molly.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di
Her
Rosula's
hand.
guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
Oh, she's got moxie, chat. She's got like the moxie punk attitude of like those like movie gangster girls. Oh, I like it a lot.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and we'll be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Yeah, I would be too.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
In the bowels of the stage of Ursi. Okay, I'm sorry.
Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye.
Teleported to
That
Natland.
said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back of the door isn't the same.
The back? You mean the inside of the door?
It's a fake wall.
What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
There's a box in the box. It's like a box inception.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Are we about to get teleported like away where that girl was into? No, probably not. Maybe?
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box.
The passage linked to the 2 boxes together.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Oh, so they still don't know what's going on. Then what about your side of the trick?
Right. You were talking that whole time, and you even came out
Speaker,
for a moment
probably?
near the end.
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect.
Smart.
My assistant and I had already scripted our
I called it,
conversation
chat.
before.
I'm a magician. I'm a
When
wizard,
the
Harry.
countdown
I'm a
began,
Harry wizard.
I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting.
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of
Except
this
the
trick.
tear.
Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked. Wow. Every detail you revealed was
It's
more
like the
amazing than
prestige.
the last.
I can tell a lot of thought was put into this.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We need to feel the walls.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off.
Dude, she has the same hair as Bronya.
And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
The magic trick. Okay. This is cool that we're collecting all the files, too. Evidence. Evidence. I'm guessing oh, the vent.
What is this place?
Looks like a vent. Wait, did I just actually RNG this? And by that I mean, looked for actual, what would be suspicious?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Among Us. He vented! He vented!
Huh.
I'm so sorry.
Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
I saw Linny vent. Other than that, go through the magical boxes. Linny and Lynette were in the 2 magic boxes.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Tunnel vent. Okay, clues? Trolley? It was venti. Because he vented. Okay, I'm sorry. Box. Wait. Is someone in the box? What kinds of props and costumes? Oh. How gruesome that would be. Oh, I have to check all of them no matter what.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
It's like when Lynette disappeared.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
What's Paimon's glasses doing? Are you kidding me?
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
That's the same thing that happened to Lynette. And
The
water.
floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
How did the water trick work?
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Maybe it was for a trick.
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish.
Can you use water to teleport?
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
The designs are so pretty. I completely agree. She looks way better than I thought she would in game. Not that I thought she'd look bad. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm guessing whatever was used for the first trick was used to kidnap the girl, right? That's my guess, my hypothesis.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
I need to mention
There's
this
all
earlier.
kinds of odds and ends here.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note
Jot
of
that
it
down.
first.
Jot that down.
Seems we're just about done investigating.
Get me
down
out of here. I didn't mean to examine the ladder. It's a ladder. Let me out. Let me out.
Yes. Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement.
Let's go to the basement.
The guards have checked the area carefully. No
Oh my
one
gosh,
left
her
through the
outfit's so
basement
good.
during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in
It
novels.
would seem so. Is that going to be its own domain?
Plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance
Wait, did I say that
and
a second
Cowell's
ago?
death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
To the basement!
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
The Oratrice will too?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the
Oh,
defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice.
Fascinating.
Not that this has ever happened anyway.
Seems messed up.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neverlet called the shots.
Bro, why does Paimon look so goofy? What are you talking about? She looks normal to me.
In practice,
I can't
there
believe
is
she's
very
wearing
little
those.
difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, Yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Are we going to do the whole trial too?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
Paimon is Paimon, bro.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
There's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have
The one time he talks, he's like, let's bust out of here.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Now's not the time to be
In that
picky.
case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
Navi, I love you. Marry me.
I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
Hmm? What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Are we going to the kitchen? Is he about to start cooking? He sounds like Lumiere. Oh. Be our guest.
A portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
Paimon's in love with this group right now.
I
Her
have
loyalty's
eggs, sugar,
been
and almonds at the ready.
her oil.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
Oh,
These three are quite the interesting group.
must be a Spina de Rosella thing. Dude, all these different groups have such personality. I love it so much.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it
Oh,
was still
humada, humada, humada. Oh, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet.
now. Paimon can't stop drooling.
That looks delicious. Multi-flavored macaroons. Magnificent. Beautiful.
From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
This looks so good.
Applauding.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Oh, that's not quite what Paimon meant, but okay.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks.
Yo, Loki, this girl's my Hydro Archon, all right? You be my
Underestimate beating
royalty.
egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack.
I'll beat your mom's eggs. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Give these a try.
Yeah, anyway.
Fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, let's
There's
eat.
3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush,
I'd
would
be
you?
able to think extra clearly.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Thank you. Why don't you take a break as well?
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
Cutscene?
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something
There's probably a
of
domain down there.
secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly. Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
So apart from the tins, we're left with the 2 people, the missing girl and the deceased.
Flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel,
Oh.
resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense.
There's
But
evidence-
the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person.
Like I said, to the basement.
But The only people left to consider are both technically victims. Whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Nadia. They smell great. They're nice and crisp and super sweet.
Focus, Paimon, focus!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
Her head turned down to the... She was only supposed to have 3.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine if you ate them, you ate them. Oh, it's fine. Everyone knows how much you love eating.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
What was that detail for?
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Well, there's really no need to do that.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this
I
really
believe
is
Paimon.
your
I don't think
hobby,
she ate
huh?
them. I think something happened. Why are they pointing that out?
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again.
Thanks, Mary Poppins.
It would be
I stole them,
awkward if
yoink.
you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help.
Are we really not? We should call on Yonfei. That'd be so cool if Yonfei was here.
Nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Okay, we gotta go in the basement. Wait until the following day? Oh my gosh.
Together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably going to be a long and difficult case.
Can we get higher?
There's no point in worrying about that now.
Can
we
we
just need
get
to
much
prepare.
higher?
Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
I want a profile picture of that Paimon. That would be pretty funny. The French Paimon. This is so good. Oh, but first, let me take a selfie. Okay, anyway, sorry. Participate in the trial. Yoo-hoo. Cutscene time?
What do we do?
I hope we actually get to choose dialogue and have it be like those, you know, those times in Genshin chat where you have to choose the right dialogue options to build up hearts. I do have some thoughts, but let's take things step by step.
Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
See you later, chat.
Best of luck to you.
What's about to happen? All right, here we go. The main event.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
This girl.
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Just you wait.
Since both parties
Oh,
are present,
here we go.
I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Oh, the music.
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
She definitely given Dory energy,
Thank
the
you,
Archon.
Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you
I bet
wish
we're gonna
to refute
smoke
his
them,
statement in any way?
but the dial is gonna make him guilty.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
It's a turning point.
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that
Oh.
so? And if I may ask,
The animations.
what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
Not the thud.
But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
How can he not know about the sound?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
They probably represent the Oratrice's stance on the trial. Dude, this is... Oh my gosh, this is so good. Chat.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
Dude, this girl is so arrogant.
Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
She's, oh my gosh, so nefarious too, man.
Of course, I have armed
Such a good
myself
enemy,
to do
though.
far more than smash
Not that she's
your
like an
alibi.
enemy.
Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
All right, wrap it up, girl. Come on. I mean, we're on.
Tell me,
I get paid by
you
the
and
hour,
Lynette
actually. Never mind.
actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
They're Fatui? Is the House of the Hearth an orphanage, chat? That Arlecchino runs, or whatever?
No wonder they did something like this.
Yeah. Oh.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
Nah.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret
Dude,
now.
these cuts, man.
Unless your script already has holes in it.
Come on, Traveler. Give me some dialogue options here.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
I love these little cinematic. They're getting so much more in depth with their storytelling.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
She just really she's a very insecure person and really wants to be valued by the people. This is interesting.
Hey, Linny. Why didn't you tell us this before?
Linny and Lynette are Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to
Let me
reestablish
speak.
the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about Magician's ability to con others. Given how Lenny has concealed his identity, this could all have been set up beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with the House operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before. Now, no, choose to trust him.
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Second thing is gonna.
Knew it.
Well, that's
Of
it.
course.
We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
Oh my gosh, how's everyone in Fontaine? No wonder this ain't the nation of wisdom. All these people are so dumb.
What should we do now?
Permission to speak, Your Honor. Yo, let's go, Traveler. Kick her ass. I'm sorry. My clients will help some key information. My defense cannot proceed.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be discussed. Oh, Traveler went to law school.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
Shut your mouth! You poopy butthole?
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Wait, she looks great.
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
To the basement.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Dude, she has so much. Oh, I cut off her laugh. No. No. I'm sorry, chat. Cutscene? Oh, no, chat. Chat time. Money? It's okay.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up.
Linny. Hello?
I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two.
I mean, they didn't lie about not being Fatui, though.
We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me
Fatui lore? Fatui lore? Oh, baby, I love some Fatui lore.
I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
That's true. Child versus, like, Skara versus...
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
By taking down the Hydro Archon?
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead.
We're working with the Fatui in Fontaine. Yo, I like where this is going.
The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
But how can we know this isn't all just another lie?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point.
I mean, we've had encounters
You
with
met
Skara,
a
though.
Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Explain the other issue first. Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver
so we
sentences
actually...
accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Oh shoot! Oh, I like this. I'm loving Linny and Lynette now.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
Ask why they're going after the core, though, please.
That's right.
Monsieur.
In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
What did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Using the word homicide,
Well,
dang.
that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why do you want to understand? Yes. Oh my gosh, thank you for asking these questions. If he didn't ask this, I'd be so upset.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Chat, it would be so cool if throughout the whole Fontaine quest, we were on the side of the Fatui instead of the Archon. Oh, that would be so sick. I don't think it's going to turn out that way.
Well, Traveler,
I'm sure Arlecchino is still going to be a bad
follow
person.
your lead however you choose.
I hope not, but that would be so cool. I will defend you from these charges. I believe judgment will be dispensed as it should.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight
Actually, we already have the
defense.
key evidence we need.
Huh?
The adjournment's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Linny's statement. The voice in the Aura Trice core chamber. Back in. Back in we go, boys. Continue the trial. Oh, this is so good. The nail-biting trial reconvenes.
Both parties have returned to their positions.
Dude, look at
Let us continue the trial.
Oh, you can look at your evidence during it? That's kind of fun.
When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Oh my gosh. Oh, shoot! Based on the opposition's account of the events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Use your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The Aura Trice will display such shifts clearly. It's Ace Attorney, boys! When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and unveil the truth.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
Chat, the art. Hold up. I'm going to move my camera during this so you guys can see the art. Sound good?
He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this
But where
time,
would she go?
Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise.
Oh my gosh, the
and
art is so
caught
good.
Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
My honor, your
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Dude, this is so sick.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
Yes.
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linny experienced and what he saw.
Linny's... Okay, hold up. Let me go back down now. Linny entered the tunnel as the countdown began. Identify loopholes. Linny claims that he headed to the chamber containing the Oratrice core upon entering the tunnel and did not witness the crime taking place and thus did not hear the thud. No one left the opera house during the magic show and after the... Wait, hold up. Did not witness the crime taking place and thus did not... No one left the opera house? Oh! Okay, I thought there was one per option. That's why I got it wrong. Okay. This is fine. Linny and the loud sound was from Linny and Halsey's fight, but Linny claimed that he heard nothing in order to cover up the truth.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
This one doesn't have anything to refute. Interesting. However, Linny knocked Halsey out using the vase and removed her clothes. However, was Linny really in the tunnel at this time? Linny claims to have heard a mysterious voice. No, he was here.
Linny went to the room that contains
Let me
the
cook,
Oratrice's
boys!
core.
Call
This
me
is the
Jonah
actual truth.
Holmes. Sherlonathon. Linny knocked Cal out. The existing evidence that indicates that when Linny returned to the tunnel, the crime had already taken place and all Linny saw was... No one left. Linny must have been very confused when he saw the clothes. He didn't have time to knock Hal out.
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Chat, this music is so good.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Oh, it's the second story. Ace Detective Paimon, no shot.
When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was
Linny about to get in trouble.
immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time.
We're being kind of dumb. We're delivering his innocence by like snitching that he committed treason.
Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Better than a murder charge? Fair. Puggers! Thank you. Thank you, little graphic. Oh, I'm like, do I click anything?
Paimon did it! Paimon actually
Oh, look at her, she's blushing.
Wasn't it awesome?
It was awesome. Watch Linne be looking at us like, you did not just say
In
that.
other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you say that Cal bumped into Linne by chance.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't
Tell her!
who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is
Yo,
true,
pop off,
he
Paimon!
only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
Yo, pop off, Paimon! I love Detective Paimon.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you remember, have you refuted Linnea's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you... You're saying that he wasn't?
Your claim has now become my weapon. Your claim has also become a critical clue. Oh, because her claim that he didn't hear the sound proves he's innocent. Choose the most reasonable evidence. Oh, I got this. I got this, boys. Irrelevant? Whoa. Whoa. Strange sound during the magic show. Entrances and exorcists. Wait. I just put it together. Oh, it's just out of these three? There was an audible thump.
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel.
Dab,
That's
Paimon.
why he
Dab
didn't
on him.
hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent.
Yo, this is... Dude, I'm loving this.
The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof. How do you like that?
I love this so much. I'm dying.
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The third person. The murderer was... Select your icons in the interface to check the corresponding... Select answers to fill empty gears to verify the correctness. If you make mistakes, you must select other options. Oh. It's thinking time, gamers. Put on your thinking caps. Oh dear. The Guardian's invocation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending the water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Cowl in the box below. If Linny is no longer under suspicion, only the other member of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Linny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work by using a box inside a box. The idea was for the box to contain the audience member to be transported across the VA tunnel, and Linny himself would also use the tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of on-stage interactions. Is it Lynette's assistant? The clothes belonged to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Select a clue. The assistant. Is this the assistant?
The deceased's name is
Oh, this is Cal.
Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility?
You punk.
The deceased's name is Cowl.
That was my original guess. Okay, that's the first time I got it wrong since we figured out how this whole shebang be working. All right, chat. They ain't on me.
That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowl, the deceased!
Oh, is that so?
Was he trying to...
How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
Dude, she looks so cool.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowl did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Chat, they've not only had a different theme for the court and the different opposition, the different speeches, but also a different musical theme for the different puzzles as well. It makes each moment feel so good. How can we investigate Linné? Oh. What is this?
No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Linné heard a voice that he recognized.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
You punk.
Entered or left the Opera House. It would have been tough for both.
Did I lose? The criminal must have understood the methods behind Lenny's... Did I just fail? The criminal must have understood the methods behind Lenny's magic trick and must have been positioned so easily to modify the equipment. Leaving aside how he died, Cal had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. The strange noise could likely have been the sound of Cal and Halsey struggling. Lenny was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. This would have given time for Hal to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there'd be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did Halsey go? Into the basement?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for
Did I just lose?
But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear.
Escaping from the water tank.
Like you did
I
from
said that
water
earlier.
tank,
I
Lynette.
said that back when we first saw the dress. Wait, could have been the water.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
The performance is more important than justice.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments,
no,
we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold on a second.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Was I supposed to fail that?
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
I didn't have this piece of evidence.
The vase was not broken by chance.
Paimon gets it!
I didn't have the plot.
If Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped, Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
This girl. Do you want to ask you a separate question each time? Oh, it does? Megan, I must have missed it.
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Carl's personal effects.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection.
But she's an
But
Archon.
Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
Oh, I
do
love
come up
this.
with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to
I love
be at
New
an
Roulette
impasse,
so much.
I believe that additional evidence may help us make more
I'm
progress.
C16 this man.
Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste.
Like toothpaste. I'm sorry. I just, for some reason.
We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are Water from the primordial sea.
What?
The primordial sea. The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times.
Did that girl die? Was she dissolved underground?
One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject.
Can they be reassembled from the water?
As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You gotta be kidding! People dissolving into water?
And only the Hydro Archon will remain.
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl, wait just a minute, could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Oh! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Are they
It is
trying to assassinate the
undeniable that
Archon?
Further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still,
Dude, he
let
looks
us assume
so
that these
amazing.
clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods
The puzzle
must
music.
have something to do with
It's
that
puzzling
water
time.
from the primordial sea.
Water liquid ability to dissolve Fontainians into water. Who is the prime suspect currently? Oh.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
Oh my gosh, I hate this. What item did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution? Was it this? Wait, what is this?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage.
Oh,
I remember there
the
was
box.
something else within the inner layer of that box. Lynette was in the magic box.
Oh, wait.
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Was it the hook?
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but
What item did the culprit use to dissolve
the
Halsey?
water from the primordial.
What item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime?
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped.
Come on. Gosh dang it. All of them are right except the last one. Here's the box.
I remember there was something else. Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was.
I was so close, Chad. I was this close. I could taste it. I could taste the justice.
Ahem. It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage.
Yo, pop off, Paimon.
But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
He encountered Linney, probably.
That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
How are we not winning?
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person?
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence.
Oh no, child.
I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderful.
Obviously foul play.
To have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Oh no.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene.
It doesn't add up.
Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice,
You'll see the art, the
Linny
full art in a
desired
second, chat.
sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime.
Dude, the music's so good.
Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right?
Look at that art.
Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here.
Our partner.
Is this the end of the road?
Our partner. Partner.
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample
Come on, partner.
witnesses to my
Come on, partner.
flawless reasoning.
Come on, partner.
I believe this is indeed the finale.
Wait.
Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move... Excuse me, everyone.
I
but
told you,
must
chat. I
interject.
knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
What is happening?
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance?
Navia setting it up. They know how to bring her back.
Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
The music.
Sorry for the interruption.
Did they all do this to prove that the justice system is flawed?
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
5.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there.
I knew it was the thief!
I've never been caught before.
It was the thief! I told you, Chad, I recognized her.
But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me.
Oh, she's from Mondstadt, so she couldn't dissolve.
I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
If they're a practice hand at concealment, probably.
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Now it's time to refute the Hydro Archon's previous
This
reasoning.
time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Time to put on our thinking caps, brothers. And I'm gonna tactically clench my butt cheeks to bring extra blood flow to my brain. That's not how that works, but okay. The loopholes. Halsey dissolved. She didn't dissolve. Halsey's here. Halsey. The clothes belonging to Halsey. It seems unlikely it was knocked over by the trolley meant to transport the magic box. Infighting. It wasn't. It was infighting between Halsey. Where's my correct evidence? Gosh dang it. Halsey knocked. There we go.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so
Okay,
she changed
okay.
clothes
Right
and hid,
idea, Ron
biding
Spot.
her time.
On-stage incident. A dropping rope hook. The rope hook that was fall to the ground has been tied to one at the end. Halsey dissolved. Audible thump. Gosh dang it. Linny entered the tunnel after the beginning of the countdown. It seems unlikely that was knocked over. Gosh dang it. Halsey dissolved? Infighting. Broken vase.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything.
Dude, I'm
up.
so good. I never
It
miss.
was
I never
smashed
missed.
During the struggle
Chat, call me
between
Sherlock
Lillian and
Holmesathan.
Cowell.
Shawnathan. Call me Shawnathan from now on, please. Thank you. First try, easy clap. The rope hook? For the balloon? On stage accident. How is this not the hearing? The hook? Yo, I'm big brain being.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
I actually don't remember that being said.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked.
I love this so much.
Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box.
All right, Paimon, pop off, girl.
The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Justice.
Yo, when does it go to our side? Smooge.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last
She
2
stole the
days.
macaroons. She stole the macaroons.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
Dude, his voice.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
I love this interaction between these two.
Wow, look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events.
I love Nouvelette so much.
The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box, and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim.
Yo, talk about an effective counterattack. She rolled that 20, man.
Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes
Defended
and hid
herself
until the
and then
performance
killed the
ended
guy.
before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Hooray,
Bravo! Bravo! Good show, my good sir!
While there is much in Linny and Lilianne's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
What if it still goes against them? Was that a Honkai Star Rail ticket? Gold, gold, gold. Is he going to be guilty still?
As such, Linny and Lynette
Oh,
are
no.
officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not celebrate just
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I love Verena jumping back in, seeing an opportunity to redeem herself a little bit.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Confess.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
What's Coupon Town? Do they have nice deals? That sounds nice.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
Wow, he's really just spilling all the beans here. Okay.
And
I didn't
now
expect
that
him
your
to
plan
fold
has
that
fallen
hard.
through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know and seek the protection of the guards.
Yo, Nouvelette, that's actually a that's one of the smartest things that's been said so far. Is him being like, you were like convincing him like you're a liability, like your best case is to confess to us that we will defend you, because no matter what, your homies are going to try and kill you.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business
for
a while
drugs.
now and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Oh, shoot. He turned into water.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
All the robots. However, nothing's found on the scene apart from the liquid left behind after he dissolved. Can we capture that? And what if we like make a popsicle out of it? Will that bring him back? The problem seems to have been solved for now. We're not needed here anymore.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Can we meet your mom? Cappuccino?
Winnie.
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just didn't want to wish to see anyone be falsely accused.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
Is the Knave? Wait, the Knave. Who's the Knave? Help. As you might know? What is... Arlecchino? Pietro? Pietro isn't the Knave. Arlecchino's... Oh, so the father isn't actually a dude. Oh, the father isn't like Godfather. I see.
The knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth?
No, Pierre's the
She's
jester,
your
right?
father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering,
Yes.
would you mind
Cutscene?
hearing a story? Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat
Dude,
together
the
with
lore
me
is
forever.
so good.
Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
In comparison to other Archon quests, like when you think about when we met Tanari and Kali, we got a little bit about Cannolis. I just combined their names. Cannoli. It's the France, man. We got a little bit about Kali's backstory, but like kind of really, we didn't really get anything about Tanari's history. Whereas here we're getting their whole origin story up to like all of their motives. This is so nice.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first, too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was.
Oh no.
After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh, damn.
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Villains. So what happened after that?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
Did the knave kill? Did the knave kill him?
So, she'd already taken care
Oh,
of
that's
that
sick.
guy.
Oh, that's so sick.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several
Arlecchino.
girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by
Arlecchino
nobles.
shaping up to be one of the most sick
But
harbingers.
she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
Oh my gosh, this plot is shaping up to be so much cooler than so sick. This is already like, I already have confidence that this is going to be one of the best region plots in Genshin. Oh my gosh.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
We successfully have given Arlecchino like full motives too. And we've seen her character as well. Like, look at that versus like Signora, right, chat?
That's right. The The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis.
We still have no idea why Signora did what she did unless you, like, dig into the lore.
Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you. Traveler! You knucklehead!
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
I understand. Oh, Paimon.
Bye, Linny!
Say bye to Lynette. Come on. A twist of great magic. Are we going to meet Arlecchino now? Probably not. But we don't need to, chat. After that lore dump, I'm satiated.
Hey there.
Oh.
What was with
love
the
ya.
disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
I'm sorry, Navia? Well, I'm sorry, Navia.
What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Linny. I wasn't nearly looking into several serial disappearance cases.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah,
Oh, wait, this is sad.
I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all.
Now we learn to say no? After cleaning people's houses and stuff? There's a case of a bunch of missing innocent people who've died, who've been murdered, and now Traveler says no? What? Now we don't say yes to every task that comes our way, like, oh, go fetch me this blade, or oh, go solve this civil dispute so I can stay the queen, or whatever. Now, this is like one of the most noble things we've been approached with someone who just saved our butt cheeks in court. He said no to Ayaka and Inazuma. Oh, did he really? Honestly, though, to Traveler's defense, Traveler's defense. Listen, I've been streaming for like 7 hours, chat. I do like hearing this from him. The bro is probably a little tired. He probably wants to find his sister, man. He's done so much for so many people. Like, he's been involved in so much.
Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer.
Traveler was right, though.
Sorry
We
about
were
that.
just defending Linny.
I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
But she's such a homie.
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
She's too good to us.
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later.
We're about to get drugged.
Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Let's go have that meal then.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
Oh!
All right, then. Let's have our farewell meal.
Offerings to the Fontaine, the Fountain of Lucine. That was amazing. Honestly, probably one of the greatest intros into a region we have received, in my opinion. I'd have to look back to remind myself of the other ones, but oh my gosh, the pacing, the only part it got a tiny bit slow was when we were investigating everything. There it was a little, that was the only thing. Everything else though was perfect. Chat, look at what we're left with. I am so invested into this universe. I love every character we've encountered. We know Lyney and Lynette, their full motives. We understand them from birth to now, why they joined the Fatui. We know Arlecchino without even seeing her. We know, like, all of Arlecchino's motivation and a little bit of her character as well. We've got such a full kind of witnessing of all of Farina, is it Farina? Focalors and her issues and her faults, as well as how she's not like bad, but she's very like selfish and has a lot of faults, and like is that like kind of very insecure and like showy and cares more about what people think than the actual justice. Nouvelette, bro said Focalors. listen, sorry, I'm working on the names still. Nouvelette, oh my gosh. There's not a moment of, like, his character design, phenomenal. And even the little side bit with Navia and Navia's crew and seeing her motivations as well. And then our little bit there at the end where she was like, oh, I'm sorry we don't get to continue the case. Navia was awesome as well. And the introduction to the region and the stakes. Oh my gosh. Also the music and Fontaine, magnificent. Truly magnificent, chat. The intro was so good. I'm so head over heels invested in this region now. It's well done. That was such a great intro quest. I honestly would have to go back, like I said, and look back on the other ones, but I feel like this is the best intro to a region we've gotten so far. Like, by a bit. And oh my gosh, chat, not to mention all the musical bits throughout the whole thing, as well as the scenes. Oh my lordy. Just the huge, magnificent, like, architecture of Fontaine and all the different areas. Oh, magnificent. I am so excited for Act 2. But that is it for now. YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I know that was a long haul. I love you. Let me know what you thought about the Archon quest below. I'll see you on the next one.